Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I am going to be selling some items to the West Ardy store. For those who don't know, the West Ardougne store actually will buy items at around high alch price, however not exactly high alch price. This store is most similar to the Wilderness Bandit store, which is available in free-to-play and members. The one drawback there obviously is it's in the wilderness, so there is a risk of you dying, which means that you'll most likely want to bank every once in a while. However, that's not the case with the West Ardy store. We don't really need to bank, so we can keep everything noted in our inventory and just hop between the worlds. Now the key differences here are the West Ardy store will buy items at around 55% of their total value, which is just slightly below high alchemy price. So because of that, we need to find items that are relatively cheap and have a reasonably high alch price. The reason for that is the reduced amount that the shop buys items at actually it will impact more expensive items pretty severely. For example, I bought some black hide earlier, and even though I bought it for like 200 GB below high alch price, it wasn't actually going to be profitable. So instead I decided to go for some really cheap items that high alch for 2, 3, 4, and even 5 times more the price I bought them for on the GE. Now the reason this is not normally viable is you need a nature rune which would offset any profit you would get from most of these items. So some example items I've bought are watermelons, lizardman fangs, gold rings, gold bars, adamant and rune javelins, dragonstone bolt, longbows, unstrung longbows, a magic potion 3, gold necklaces, gold amulets, and amethyst arrows. So we ended up spending about 6.2 mil on these items. We're going to go ahead and sell them to the West Ardy store, see how long it takes us, and maybe calculate how much GP per hour you could get here. Anyway guys, hope you enjoy and let's get started. So this is actually the very first time I've ever done this. I'm going to experiment a little bit with how many I should be selling to each world. I found an empty world just to begin with here. I'll actually put the prices maybe on screen so you'll have a little bit of an idea how much money I'm making per item, which ones end up being the best. Okay, so first up here, let's have a look at watermelons. So watermelons for 25. So if we go for 5 and then recheck it, they're down to 21. So we can't really sell more than 5 of that item. It would make the most sense to maybe organize these with how many I can sell per world. The general store will buy lizardman fangs for 33 and I bought them for 18. So if we sell 5, down to 27, probably can sell more than that. Down to 21. So we probably can do 10 lizardman fangs. Okay, we got the gold ring for 192 and we bought them for 109. We can do probably 10 gold rings as well. We got the gold bar, which we bought for 83. I think we can easily do 10 of that as well, maybe even 15, although it doesn't really make sense because there is no option to buy 15. We have the gold bracelet, which we bought for 175. We can pretty easily go ahead and sell 10 of those as well. I think for the most part, we could probably sell 10 of most of these items, just not a few of them. So the watermelons may just not be worth it at all. We have the dragonstone bolt, which we bought for 252 and the shop will buy for 366. Once again, we can pretty easily sell 10. Ooh, not quite. Well, we'll probably still do 10. We have the rune javelin, which we bought for 170. Not sure about this one. Ooh, we can only do 5 of the rune javelin. I think I messed up on that one, actually. The longbow is not worth it. I'll probably just chuck it at the bottom. We have the maple longbow which we got for 75. That's pretty good. So we can easily sell 10 of that. An interesting one is the magic potion for 137, and I bought that for 52, which means we can easily sell 10 of the magic potion. We have the gold necklace for 132, and it'll buy it for 247. We have the gold amulet, which I got for 119. Amethyst arrow, 269, and I bought it for 168. Adamant javelin for 88, and I bought those for 74. That's not very good either. Actually, might just chuck that at the bottom and not use it. Gold amulet for 192, and I bought it for 119. And last up here, rune arrows, which I bought for 93 GP, and if we sell 10, we almost sell 20 of those ones, but we probably won't. So we have 2 items at the top. We're going to do 5 and the rest 10. So let's see how long it takes to go between a world, and we'll see how many people are actually going to be in each world. Now, this might be better to do on mobile, honestly. Okay, we got a couple items here. So we'll just kind of quickly go through. 10. We might overlap on a few things here, but it's not a big deal. And there we go. We did 1 full inventory, and we're going to hop to another world. Okay, this world's kind of packed, so we're going to have to kind of hop between worlds strategically. Interesting to see what we have here. Barbed bolts, lantern lenses, rune javelins, and some other interesting things. All right, so let's go ahead and start doing this, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I started doing this on my PC, but then I kind of realized a few minutes in that it's going to be way easier to do on my phone. So what I'm going to be doing is switching between PC and phone whenever I hit the hop limit. It's not as common as doing other methods, as it does take a little while to actually sell off all the items. Although on mobile it's pretty quick, so I am still hitting the hop limit sometimes. Now there's definitely one or two other people doing this with me. The total level worlds are generally free. I thought it was being so unique with my items, but I have pretty much the same ones as the other people as well. Even if you did have a full inventory of unique items, you would hit the shop limit as well. There is only a certain amount of item slots that are actually available to be sold. So doing this late at night would be ideal. But anyway, let's go ahead and sell off most of these items and we'll see how much money we made. So this entire process took a bit longer than I had assumed. With a couple other people doing this, it really slows everything down. I've probably been doing this for about an hour and a half, and everything that I had 3,000 of originally is almost sold out, so we're just going to do the rest of that. And then the rest of these items I'm just going to sell directly back to the Grand Exchange. So I'm pretty happy with how this went. It looks like we're almost back up to 6.2 mil just from these items, so I'm not really sure how much I'm going to get in profit, but I am kind of expecting to get maybe like $1 mil in profit. I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to judge something like this. So what I've learned from this time and what I've changed for next time is have less items but more diversity. I would probably try to get more unique items than what I had already picked, or do this at a later time of night or something like that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We'll just sell off the rest of those, and so we ended up with about 6 mil back and whatever we have left in the inventory. So let's go back to the Grand Exchange and see how much money we made. Okay, so we're back at the Grand Exchange. Let's go ahead and sell some of these things off. Let's see, we have the gold amulets worth about 100k, dump those in there. Lizardman fangs aren't worth too much. Gold bars aren't worth too much either. The U longbows are worth 736k, so that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, they weren't actually viable to sell, but that's going to bump up our money by quite a bit, up to 6.9 mil. Rune arrows are worth about 90k. Rune javelins are worth about 400k. Nice. So we're up to 7.4 mil now. We have adamant javelins worth around 200k. And watermelons worth about 20k. Collecting everything, in total we have 7.7 mil, which means we made 1.5 mil in profit. Under ideal circumstances, you could probably do this in an hour. If you had a phone and a computer, it probably took me closer to an hour and a half though. Another thing worth mentioning is my item selection could be quite a bit better. I think had they subbed out some of the items like the watermelons, which are pretty much worthless, and tried to find some other items, this could be pumped up to maybe like 1.5 mil to 2 mil an hour. And if I had access to some of the higher total level worlds, I think you'd be able to switch between all of the total level worlds without any interruptions and all of the items despawning in time. And the last thing I wanted to go over in this video is how I actually found the items I was looking for. So I went over to GE Tracker, which is a sponsor of mine. If you are interested, there is a link in the description. If you don't want GE Tracker, don't have it, the easiest way is to look up these items on the wiki and find their high alchemy prices. Really sticking to jewelry items, kind of more cheap, obscure items that you can find. I'll give you some examples here and you can maybe save them for later. So the way I found these is by going over to the money making tab, down to magic, and to high alchemy. Now high alchemy is going to naturally display the items with the largest margin first, and for our intents and purposes, these items are not really what we're looking for. You might be able to get away with some items around the 3 or 4k mark, but generally not going to be worth it as the buying limit is going to be much lower. So we have 233 items here that we're looking at. So what we want to do is go down to the cheapest items first. So to do that, we just clicked on the approximate offer price and hit it once, and now we're looking at the cheapest items first, and we're just going to start scrolling down. Now the approximate price you're going to buy it on the Grand Exchange is right here, and the high alch price is on the right. Now we're going to pretty much omit any item that has less than a couple thousand as its buying limit. Now there are certain things you might be able to get away with, but generally you want to go with things that have a really large buying limit. So generally the first page there isn't too many useful items here. The first good one here might be the maple logs, high alch price at 48 GP and a 15,000 limit and a very cheap buy price. If you really don't have a lot of money, this could be a good option. Bullseye lanterns are a really good option. Unfortunately, I don't believe they sell very frequently. Even though their limit's 10,000, I doubt you could buy more than like a couple a day. Yeah, you're not going to get more than a couple hundred at maximum. Oak short bows could be an option, but not ideal, I don't think. I tried watermelons, but it wasn't really worth it. You could do snakeskin as well. This is how I found that some of my items and the others, I was just kind of looking at the shops and seeing what was being sold and kind of copied them. which was a bit of a detriment because then I was doing the same item. Gold bars have a 100 GP margin, pretty good there. We of course did rune arrows, which is another popular one. Generally, you probably want a margin that's about double at least what you were buying it for. If it's only like a 20 or 30% difference, you're not going to have much luck with it. And I pretty much just slowly went through the list. Once you get into the 1000 GP mark, it's probably going to be difficult to find items. But I would just have a look at this list, come up with 10 to 20 items at least. 30 would be ideal, but it's probably going to be hard to find 30 profitable items. And then go ahead and buy 1 or 2,000 of each of them. Sell the items off and then repeat. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoy, I hope you learned something. I'm trying to find some kind of unique 1-hour challenges to do. So if you have any suggestions, leave a comment down below. I always appreciate it. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next time.